Well, hey everybody, how's it going? Well, welcome back. It's our Thursday content day. That's right. We're just sitting out here and gonna have a little puff here, and we'll get into it. There we go. Having a little matured Virginian in my K Woody Bulldog. I know this is the kind of the go-to. I like this guy. It's from the 40s or early 50s, but it's a great draw, good taste, and I got it for $7 at a thrift store. Now, subscriber and friend Jerry Lewis. No, not that Jerry Lewis. Stop it. Jerry Lewis gave me one like this. I shared it on the channel not too long ago, but it's a straight. It's a non-step stem on it, so it's a straight taper, really nice Art Deco looking bulldog pipe, and I love it. And I usually enjoy English blends in that one, but yeah, this little stepped one is definitely my Virginian type of blend pipe. It just became that. Yeah, it works good. It tastes great. Indeed. Might be needing time to ream it out a little bit. It's getting a bit of a cake built up in there. Anyway, what do we got going on? Well, we're burning this 1899 era CT Ham Cold Blast. Now, we've all seen this. I've shared it not too long ago. But this is a beauty. I got this from collector and friend John Chittum. And he was selling this one along with a companion to this model, same year, same era. What's the number one Cold Blast ham? And I was after one of those, and so he says, well, if you buy the number one, you get this one too. So it was combined price for 2 lanterns, and I was like, well, I can't say no to that. That's actually really good. And he gave me a good deal on these two, and I wanted the number one Cold Blast ham, which was beautiful. It's back there, you know, so I've shared it already. Anyways, go back and look at it. Anyways, I'm burning this one because I have something to share that is for sale. Not will be, it is for sale. So before I get into it, I want to, well, just have a little conversation about something. Whoa, you want to know? Oh yeah, of course. Sorry. Well, you probably realize that it's Halloween today, as you should. I'm not doing any spooky content today this year. Sadly, I know. I've dropped the ball. I did. I got preoccupied with a lot of activities this month. You know, so I had to get ready for the Bo Huff Orama car show out in San Bernardino earlier this month, and then right after that was the Tombstone trip, and the last weekend was Halloween parties, and here we are. Now, I like doing Halloween content. I do. I had some plans of buying a pumpkin and carving it and having a jack-o'-lantern sitting here and talking about some Halloween related items and stuff and doing some content. Now, last year I went all in. I made a real fun Halloween type of video. I hope you all enjoy it, and if you missed it, by all means go back a year and watch the Halloween video that I put up. And it's a sophisticated one. I think it's one of my better videos production wise, and yeah, so please enjoy that one. If you haven't seen it, or if you've seen it, by all means, you know, hey, how many times have we seen Charlie Brown's The Great Pumpkin, right? Every year, right? So just because it's not a current video doesn't mean it's bad. You can watch it again. But anyway, I was really trying to think about what I could talk about and what things I could share. Sadly, I don't really have any other paranormal stories to share with you guys. I think I shared them all in the last several videos. So with that being said, I wouldn't want to repeat the same stories. It gets a little dull. Anyways, I I just also just ran a Steam, and it's just been preoccupied and didn't really give it much thought. So please forgive me this year. I know I'm taking a year off for Halloween content, and I'm sorry about that because I really do enjoy making some spooky content. I mean, what's more fun than sitting around in a dark garage with a couple lanterns burning and telling some interesting stories about the supernatural that have happened. Well, they're not just me saying stories, they're actual experiences, and I guess that's what makes it a little different. But anyway, that being said, I'm sorry, no Halloween content today. I know it's once a year, but you'll have to wait till next year to get another Halloween video, and maybe maybe I'll go all out this next year. So maybe I'll get a few friends that have had experiences, and we'll do a little roundtable discussion. Wouldn't that be neat? You know, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I have a few friends that do have some experiences, and heck, you could even classify their homes as haunted. Yeah, so maybe put that in your cap and let it marinate, and we'll do a content of Halloween paranormal related type of content next year, and we'll set it up in a different location. We'll go on location, just as old Bob the Lantern guy used to say, on location. That's right. So mark it on your calendars. A year from today, we're going to do content out at a known haunted location. So that's something to look forward to, isn't it? Isn't it? Doesn't that make up for my lacking of content today and Halloween theme? I hope it does. I hope it does. You know, gosh, I should have thought of this before. Man, this would have been great. See, you don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe you don't want to. But anyways, I'll say, next year for sure. I'll have to talk to some of the guys and see what they think. And those who are watching, who know me, the guys I'm speaking of, you know who you are. I know. We'll do it. We'll do a little excursion to some area that will be very, very fun. Okay, so anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful and happy and safe Halloween, and a spooky one, of course. But now we're going to move on to another part of the video. So, as I was saying, you've probably all seen the reels. I know some of you watched the reels the 30-second reels that I posted about stripping a CT Ham cold blast just this last week. Actually, this week. It was Tuesday. What am I saying? But anyways, it's done now. Came out great. It really did come out nice. And you've seen the finished product, but here it is. CT Ham No.2 cold blast. This one is missing the lift lock, the brass little lift lock there. Yeah, it's missing it. But I'll tell you what, don't let that distract you. Don't let that be a deterrent. This is for sale. And I think I'm asking a very fair price considering its age and its condition. Overall, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The inside of the fount is like it's got tin in there. Yes. And believe it or not, there was a wick that was in there. Let me see if I can find that wick. Where is that wick? Jeez, where is it? Where did it go? I had the wick. I had the spare wick. There was a spare wick in here. Where'd it go? Where are you hiding? Anyways, it was dirty and it was gross. And if I find it, I'll include it. But anyways, it's only this long. It's not that big of a deal. But the one that was in the burner is longer and much nicer and very clean. Yes. So let's take it apart a little bit. Well, let's investigate this guy. Now, first of all, somebody reshaped this bail. They put a point in it. I think that's kind of nice. So if you want to hang it on a nail, it's kind of centered. But yeah, it's pretty neat. But it's kind of sooty up there, so it's been used quite a bit. I didn't clean it, so that's original soot in use. But this thing has the locking cone. Okay, brass. It was painted, as you remember. It was painted black with some silver paint. Now there's some of that paint still residing on the top part. I could remove that if desired. It's not a big deal. You don't see it, not when the lantern's burning, but it's the original cone. And here's the burner and the wick. You know, it looks darker because it's soaked with kerosene. There is oil in this. Yeah, but anyway, this thing is really in phenomenal shape. Well, Rob, why don't you keep it then if it's so nice? I got that one. I like this lantern. Don't get me wrong. I do like it, but you know, I got a lot of lanterns. I can't keep them all. No, I can't. I really can't. Well, sure you can, Rob. That doesn't mean anything. Why can't you keep this one? Why don't you keep it? Well, you know, I shouldn't. I got enough. I have enough. I have enough lanterns, and I'm trying to reduce my lantern collection a little bit. So sorry that I'm not keeping this. I don't intend to keep it, and you know, as nice as it is, it's you know, something I think that would make somebody else much happier. Yeah, I think there's definitely room for others to enjoy a CT Ham Cold Blast. Now, what is it about these lanterns that I like so much? Are they rare? Well, no, they're not. Are they desirable? Well, I think everyone should have one, if not a couple. What is it about these lanterns that are so great, Rob? You seem to be a big proponent for CT Ham Cold Blast lanterns. Well, I am, and I'll tell you why, but let's light this and I'll show you just how well it works. Now, how do you use a side lift lantern without a lift lock? Simple. Since it's still attached in all the right places, it still works great. So just lift this down. See, it still works, still lifts just fine, okay? But since I'm holding it like this, I'll just use my thumb to hold it up. Yeah, and you get the wick right there. It's a two-hand job still. That's right. I thought I had the wick higher than that. There you go. All right, and then just lower it, and you're good to go. Swear. Anyways, so there you go. And that's a really nice flame. Now, I didn't cut the wick completely straight. It was on a little bit of an angle, so it has a little bit of a slope to it. But if I was to recut the wick, then it would be fine. But look, you can get this flame. As this warms up, you will see this flame gets really big. It's a very bright lantern. It is. It's beauty. It really is a beauty. I like this one. And that's interesting. Let's see if I can use this here. This is a really funny match. It was a twofer, and I pulled the other side off. Oh, see, this still works good. Okay. That's right. But this flame, it can get pretty darn high. There you go. There I go. Is that nice? Move this little guy to the side. There you go. That is a beautiful piece. It's beautiful. Yeah, it is. It has a flaw, but just one flaw. Everything else is there. It holds fuel very well. The inside of the fountain is clean. It has tin. Yeah, the lantern globe is not original. It's just a generic cold blast globe. But you know, if I had an original globe for it, then it would cost a bit more. I'd have to adjust the price for it. But I'm only asking $65 shipped. Well, no, 65 plus shipping, ground advance on the Tubular Lantern group. So if you're on the Tubular Lantern group on Facebook, you can find my post and see the lantern, and you can see all the photos. That's right. And it really is a nice piece. It came out so well. There was some slight subtle, surface rust, and I took care of it. Just WD-40 and a little bit of a Scotch pad, and took the rust off and left this nice brown patina. And it's kind of more gray brown, kind of charcoal grayish brown, more or less. It's charcoal gray with a warm tone to it, that's all. But it's not rust, it's beautiful. And it's just, man, you see the nice solder, and it's a beautiful piece. It's circa 1905-6, right around there. Yeah. Now, the model after this one had the same globe guards. However, they went from straight across to kind of more of a Y. So they went up. So they went from this T to more of a Y style in 1907. So this was right before 1907 to my understanding. But the large manifold or air chamber, the burner air chamber there, it went from a cylinder like on this one to more of a donut. And that's what I call it. I call it the donut air chamber, and that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like the burner cone is sitting on top of a donut. So, but it's actually a great manifold. It really does. It creates a little bit more of a air circulation that gets more concentrated air, I'd say, to the burner, and you get this nice wide tulip-shaped flame, which is great for outside lighting and everything, and it burns really, really well. This thing burns better than that. Yeah, as you can see, this one has more of a wider, flat flame, and it wants to point at the ends. Now, there might be a reason why that's happening, but I think that's the characteristics of the earlier cold blast that Ham made. I think most of my other CT Ham pre-1900 hams kind of burn like that, but that's because of the smaller manifold, right? But this one has a lot better airflow, and it just makes a really nice, generous tulip-shaped type of flame. And that's what you really want, because that's maximum light, because it's wide and it's flat, and as long as it's not peaking or smoking, then you're going to have a nice, clean, burning flame. It's perfect. That's what you want. Yeah. Anyway, $65 plus shipping within the lower 48s, ground advance. That's right. And it's usually about $20 shipping. I end up paying shipping the lantern within the lower 48. So if you guys like it, find it on Facebook or just comment, leave a comment, and your email, and I'll email you all the information and everything, and we'll go from there. Okay? Sound good? Awesome. I like it. So with that being said, we'll just put that back there and let you think about it and marinate on it, because I think this would make somebody very happy. Yeah, it's a nice lantern. It is. And I like my CT hams, don't get me wrong. They're beautiful. But I'm trying to reduce, I had some things that were projects, and I meant to get this one done a while ago, and now it's done, so. There we go. Anyway, beautiful. Beautiful. It's complete. It's got the fuel cap, the burner cone, the burner, everything's original. It's just missing the little locking plate on the air tube there. But that's it. And as you saw, you don't need it. You can use your thumb to keep the globe up while you light it. So it's not as conventional, but it works, and it gets the job done. And you can not worry about it. That's the nice thing about some of these common earlier ham lanterns, is that they do turn up often, and you can take it out camping, take it out in the woods for a walk, or do something, or set it out by the grill and have it light your evening. Or even inside. It clean, burns really clean. I don't really smell it at all. That's a good question. How do you make your cold blast not smell so strong? Well, trying to get this thing going here. Give me a second. Well, that's a good question. Now, there's a few answers. One, when I took the paint off of this, I used a garden hose and high pressure water to spray all the paint off, or the majority of it anyways. And then I also spray the inside of the chimney and all inside the air tubes, and then I set it outside. Well, I get as much water out of it as I can, and I set it in the sun, direct sun, and then let that heat up the metal, and the water will eventually evaporate out of the lantern, so there's no rust. Or you can even put the lantern in the oven if you want, on a very low setting, and eventually dry it out completely, which people have done with great success. Because you don't want it rusting from the inside out. No, not really. Anyway, then you use a fresh wick or a clean wick, and you also use a proper fuel like Crown K1 or the proper clean heat. There's another clean heat that's not, I don't know what the difference is, but there is a clean heat that you don't want to use for burning in kerosene lanterns. But or Medallion. Medallion is a good alternative. It's a good pure clean lamp oil. It's a little more pricey, but it's a great product. There's a good reason why it's more pricey, is because it's quality. But yeah, those fuels don't really smell very well. They don't smell. They don't smell much. They don't fume as much as regular generic pump K1. Okay, now the Crown K1 is clean, and that's what I burn in this. That's what I'm burning in both of these, is the Walmart Crown K1 kerosene. And that burns clean. Now, if you have a dirty lantern that's never been cleaned out, then you're going to smell it more. If you use the old wick that's got tons of years of gunk in it, you're going to smell it. If your burner's dirty, you're going to smell it. If your fount's dirty, you're going to smell it. If your chimney's just, dirty and everything, you're going to smell it. So once in a while, you want to clean it out. And that's kind of general maintenance on these old tubular lanterns, which I haven't really talked too much about. But since I had stripped the paint off of this one and I gave it a good hose down with the water and sprayed it all over the place, not only cleared out the tubes if there was any obstructions, but also the chimney and the baffle and everything else. It just, there is some black char in there, but it's been there for 100 years at least. But anything else it's clean. It doesn't smell very bad at all. You could burn it in your house if you really wanted to, as long as you don't mind the subtle room note of burning kerosene. I don't mind that smell personally. I kind of like it, but you will want to have some ventilation. Don't be in a room that's closed up without any windows open or any kind of ventilation at all, because then this lantern will take your air and then you'll have carbon monoxide, and we know what happens when that is the case, so don't do that. But yeah, anytime you're burning a lantern of any variety, wick lantern that is, you want to have ventilation, absolutely. Or have fireplace or a wood stove or anything that's burning, that's consuming your air supply, you want to have a ventilation. I usually just crack the window open a little bit with a door open ajar and have a little bit of a cross ventilation, and I don't even smell it. It's true. And it's fine. But yeah, what do you do when it gets cold outside? Well, that is a good question now, isn't it? I don't really burn too much things when it's cold outside. Maybe a hot blast. Yeah. But as long as you have just a little bit of air supply, that you'll be fine. But anyway. Yeah, so CT Ham cold blast lanterns, they are just beasts. They are durable. They are beautifully designed. I mean, for what it is, I think they're a superior cold blast to Dietz. I like Dietz lanterns, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of love for R.E. Dietz lanterns. I have many of them. But I do like the CT Ham Cold Blast. They're just gorgeous. They're beautifully designed, and they're very, very user-friendly, and they burn very well, and they're very bright. So it is a quality piece, for sure. So for any of those who are into vintage camping, you might want one of these, especially if you're doing pre-1930 camping. This is not a bad option, and they make great light. They're very bright. They're a lot brighter than any of those Chinese ones from Walmart that I've seen people use. But yeah, any big No.2 cold blast is going to be the delight of your camping environment with all your antique gear if you're into vintage camping. And I can't strongly suggest this enough. It's a great piece. Not just because I want to move it along, but I want somebody to enjoy it besides me. And it's a good piece. And granted, it is missing the lift lock, but that's what happens sometimes during the travels through time. Things get bumped and missing. But it has everything else. And you can make a replacement lift lock if you so desire. Or maybe hit up Lantern Joe and see if he's got a spare. It's possible. You never know. But anyway, with that being said, I will leave you guys with this. And consider this beautiful old No.2 CT Ham Cold Blast. And we'll we'll see you next year on Halloween with some actual Halloween content. So again, I apologize for this year and the lack of Halloween related subject, but you know, I was ill prepared. My apologies. But we will do some other holiday related content in the coming months, and that will be fun. That will be fun. And of course, at the end of the month of December, we'll have the annual New Year's light up, and I encourage everyone to participate in that, because that's something that Ken, with lots of trains, always spearheads. He's been carrying on the tradition since the late Bob the Lantern Guy passed on, who I think he kickstarted that whole thing. So anyways, it's a fun tradition, and just showing off the lanterns that you got that year, and you know, making a little arrangement and lighting them all and ushering in the new year. So of course, keep that in mind. But we'll be back at you next week with some more things to share, more lantern content, of course, and have a great Halloween, everybody. Be safe and enjoy. Bye-bye.